It's so cool it's really very nice Like you don't get to see this side of Singapore often. Okay, don't know the guy is like in front. That's cool. Okay. He doesn't like photos and shit. I don't know what I'm able to do. Oh my god, I almost fell into water, shit. Hi, my name is Joash, so also known as the Snail Man. So what's happening today is that we are here to explore Seletar Dam, which is actually at the northeastern side of Singapore. So a little history about this place. This place was actually created in 1986 when Singapore decided to increase our water supply. So what they did was they actually dammed up the Seletar Reservoir, the Seletar River, which is just behind me, and eventually this created a reservoir like over there. So that side is fresh water and this side is actually salt water. So what's very interesting about this place is that it used to be a river, so that means a lot of the old natural habitats still remain here. Also what we're doing here, so basically we're just going to explore all the marine creatures, more in specific actually the marine snails and marine mollusks that actually lives here. So today's tide isn't really very good because it's high tide right now, so we can't really just go down into the water, dig out some clams and just talk about it. So my idea for today is that we actually look at what is dead, like the dead shells along the shoreline, and we can just elaborate upon it after that. Oh yeah, so something really special about this place is that because it's in the Johor Strait, right, we receive a lot of freshwater outflow from the Johorian River, which results in a very ura-haline condition over here. So ura-haline basically means it's a very high level of fresh water and very little seawater, or actually salt content in the water, resulting in a very conducive environment for mangroves, which you can see actually in the distance. So without further ado, we can actually proceed. So I actually did a little walk just now before we started this video. So we actually could find a lot of clams, freshwater, not really freshwater, brackish water clams. So you have the squamose mud clam. You would actually find a lot of huge mud clams, maybe in the mangroves over there or there. Yeah, and you also find things called ileobids actually. So they are actually half snail, half marine creatures. So what they do is actually, something interesting about the ileobids is that they actually lay their eggs in salt water, but they are predominantly terrestrial, which means that they live on land. So if you actually soak them in water, like what you do for like most other marine snails, they actually die within like 20 minutes or less because they actually have fresh water. They actually have lungs, so they can't breathe like actually from the water, unlike like marine snails which actually use gills. Yeah. So that's kind of like what we might be able to find today. Oh, okay, why this particular location? Because I decided it's easy to access in the morning at like 7 AM. So there's a bus that actually alights just over there. So it's easier for anyone who's interested to come here to actually explore this place on their own. Secondly is that it's a very interesting habitat here because you get fresh water over in the back. So if we actually have the time, you can actually go over and just explore the freshwater creatures there. And also you have the seawater here, which is here. I think it's very quiet. It's actually very peaceful. So like to be able to come here in the morning and just like breathe the sea air and everything, it's actually pretty cool. Like to me, I kind of like it though. Like even without a camera. So yeah, it's pretty nice. If you come here in the evening, actually you get really nice sunsets, like really gist-worthy sunsets. So yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. Yeah. Okay, there are two names for this hobby, which basically the first one is ecology, which is the study of marine mollusks, but this actually takes into account the anatomy, which is like the internal body structure. It takes about the history of the snail, so you actually pay a lot of attention to like the geographic ranges of each species. Whereas if you talk about conchology, which is the other name, conchology basically means you just study the shell or mollusk basically based on their external shell features. You don't really take into account anatomy, history, biological history, and so on and so forth. So that's depending on what you guys want to call it actually, it's either one of this. Yeah, but I just call it shelling because for easy reference and stuff.
Why does this excite you?
Huh?
Why does this excite you?
Actually, I don't know. This is a very tough question. It's just pretty cool, I guess. Like to be able to like, I don't know, collect shells.